Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. As you can see, my videos, which are done weekly, are done in coffee shops so that we can get on most of the subjects that come out every week in immigration and ones that affect you and your family. Now, as I'm sure most of you have heard, President Trump has implemented policies which are affecting millions of people. The deportations have gone way up. The officers who have been hired are performing actions which would have not been thought possible in years past. The ICE officials are waiting in courthouses for people who have minor traffic tickets and even have been released on probation to put them in detention, and it goes on and on. The travel ban has been enjoined, yet there are many, many people from those countries that still don't even come to the U.S. now because they're afraid of the U.S. and of deportation. There are families who are being torn apart. There are kids, parents, grandparents, and so forth who are being deported. People are afraid in their work, they're afraid in their homes, and so forth. And so there's a lot of areas of immigration law, and I want you to understand that my firm does all of the areas. There are affirmative applications such as non-immigrant visas, E2s and O1s, K1s, and it goes on and on. Business type visas, investment visas, where people from outside the country want to come and be entrepreneurs inside the US. And I don't want you to think that because of the policies President Trump that those visas have been stopped in any way. They haven't. It's just a matter of properly preparing them, submitting them, and hopefully getting the approval. Now, for those people who are in deportation proceedings, who are going to be put into removal or deportation proceedings, there are a whole lot of procedures that need to be done in order to make sure that you are protected. If you try going through the removal process yourself, or if you do what a lot of my clients said before they came to my office is, well, Joe told me this, or I read on the internet that, you're just going to be in realistically for a lot of trouble. The ICE officials are not your friend. The immigration judge is not your friend. The trial attorney representing immigration is not your friend. You are a number to them. That's all you are. You're a number and a file. And if they can get you off their docket and get you to agree to sign voluntary departure, why that'll make their jobs a whole lot easier. That is why you need to make sure that you have an immigration attorney who also specializes in removal and deportation law, because things move very quickly. I cannot tell you how many times an ICE official would go up to a foreign national and essentially lie about what they're supposed to do and force them to sign a document which essentially says they don't want to fight their case. They just want to be deported. And even though they had a right to fight their case, and even though they might have even won the case under all kinds of relief in immigration court, such as cancellation of removal for lawful permanent residence, registry, adjustment of status, asylum, convention against torture, 212 waivers, adjustment waivers, it goes on and on. They gave up those rights because they essentially were lied to by an ICE official, or they simply didn't know what their rights were. If you happen to be put into detention, obviously that's no pleasure, but we will do a bond redetermination hearing. Hopefully that'll be granted, and then you can fight your case while you're free. And a lot of times we can fight your case at the immigration court level, and if we lose there, we'll go up to the Board of Immigration Appeals. If we lose there, we'll go up to the circuit court. If we lose there, we'll do what's called a petition for a hearing en banc. If we lose there, we'll go up to the U.S. Supreme Court, and then from there we might do a motion to reopen or whatever it is. There's lots of different ways of fighting your case. So I've been doing immigration law for coming on now about 25 years. And a large percentage of the cases upon which I take are helping those people who are in removal proceedings, who have already been removed from the US, who have entered the United States illegally, who are here illegally, who have committed crimes, who have committed fraud, and who have committed a variety of other types of crimes which make them ineligible generally to immigrate, except the immigration law, if you know it and if it's been practiced and if it's familiar and if it's a you're a good immigration attorney, you can fight a whole lot of different allegations against you, because the reality is immigration, they just look at what they think you did wrong. They write down the notice to appear, they make the charging document, they put you in removal proceedings, and frankly, they hope that you're not represented by someone who knows what they're doing so that they can get you out of the country. But the law allows a lot of different forms of relief and a lot of different ways of fighting. And if you have been here for a whole lot of years and you have family and you have children and a spouse and maybe parents, and you don't want to leave, you are not obligated to do so. If you have been here a certain amount of time and you're not here legally, ICE can certainly put you in detention. They can certainly put you in removal proceedings, but they cannot force you to admit anything to them. They cannot force you to sign any documents that would end up getting you voluntarily removed. So, given that, I want you to understand that the whole ambit of immigration law is very big, and it's almost like a 10,000 piece puzzle, and one little piece might affect some piece way over here that might affect some piece way over there. And even if you are coming here to do an investor visa or a specialty occupation visa, a work visa, or a labor certification, employment based visas, it is very important that you also get someone, an attorney, that knows to look for why you might be inadmissible, what issues might exist, what might happen later on. I mean, you might get an approved labor certification, an approved I-140, only to be denied at the adjustment stage because of something you did 14 years ago. And so, the nice part about my office is, since we do it all, since we do the family-based immigration, the employment-based immigration, and the other side of it, which is the removal side of it, the waivers, all the stuff that deals with inadmissibility, we can look at the whole picture and we can help you so that it will go through. Now, obviously, immigration takes time, petitions take time, but they need to be done correctly. And I can tell you, if they're not done correctly, it's going to make your life miserable, because when it's not done correctly, things go bad, and they go bad really fast. So give my office a call. We offer free initial consultation, let you know what can be done, how we can help you, what the cost will be, all of that stuff. I do have clients all over the United States, and so it doesn't matter if you can't physically come into the office. I also have clients in many countries around the world. So when we set the consultation, you pick the time that's available with my office, and then I give you a call either on telephone or Skype, and then we go from there. So more on the coming videos. If you like the video, click like, subscribe. More coming next week.